Various role players in civil aviation will gather in Cape Town today for a three-day summit aimed at advancing and advocating gender equality in the industry. Now, while some women have made significant strides in the aviation space in South Africa, access and exposure for young women remains a challenge. The Civil Aviation Authority says transformation is slow, with males still dominating the industry.
It was a passion for flying and the world of aviation which led to Fatima Jakut's mission to expose young people to the workings of the industry. A pilot for South African Airways, Jakut started the Saki Kamva Foundation to help young people gain a better understanding of the opportunities in the aviation space in South Africa.
To expose and develop young kids in the aviation industry. That is one of the barriers that we need to address for our youth. They don't really know what they don't know. So this is a very exciting career. The whole aviation and aerospace industry is new, it's unknown. It is where it's literally going to take the next generation to higher places.
According to South Africa's Civil Aviation Authority, transformation is happening at a snail's pace. This despite various interventions by government and its state-owned aviation entities, with cabin crew being the only category performing well. Jakut says over 100,000 learners have attended various programs and workshops.
We've already had success in pilots graduating on our scholarship programs, the paper aeroplane competition getting in, Africa Code Week with the Cape Town Science Centre and exposing young kids to coding and so forth. So our projects outside just this space is enormous, and the impact is enormous.
For some young people, the STREAM laboratory is where they can access information on a possible career in aviation.
Being a pilot is actually something that I'm very interested in, just the feeling of being in the air and the adrenaline rush.
When you're a little child, you just feel like you want to be up there with them in the sky, and that's how I felt ever since, so I'm very passionate about aviation.
I'm just interested about planes and like how it lifts and all of that. Like, I just love being in the skies, like just feeling the air.
Air traffic services, which includes managing aircraft takeoff and landings, is another highly specialized sector within aviation. Katlego Sipoba is a qualified air traffic controller and has been in the industry for 18 years. Now managing air traffic services in Cape Town, she says misconception around women's ability in the field is one of the challenges to overcome.
I think it's exposure. It's definitely exposure. We see it especially in South Africa or in Africa. We don't talk enough about aviation as a whole. When you go to Europe and to America, aviation, pilots, air traffic control, your general person walking the street knows what that is about. Whereas in South Africa, we don't really talk about it a lot. If you ask anybody about aviation, they'll tell you about air hostessing, they'll tell you about being a pilot. But very, very few people know what air traffic control is about, or even aircraft engineers or any of the other support careers that we have in aviation.
The summit is aimed at unlocking finances and education for women wishing to enter the aviation industry. The summit ends on Friday. Vanessa Puna, SABC News, Cape Town.